and all. Welcome back to another edition of the Average Guy's Guide to Life podcast. You know who I am. You know what this is. You bitch. Now, today is Friday, but it won't be an edition of the Freaky Freaky. Why? Because I had more of an interesting story to tell you. Interesting and also funny, and I'm putting myself at risk here with this story, making myself very vulnerable for all of you to laugh at my expense. Uh, and we're gonna get right into that, but I did want to make sure that I address the current state of affairs with society and the entire world. Hopefully, you're staying away from uh, at risk people, and hopefully, you people that are dealing with the coronavirus situation, you're still doing well. If you are mandated to quarantine, hopefully, you're making it through that good. Continue to stay away from folks. Keep yourself out of harm's reach. And my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone currently dealing with the situation and you're having a hard time. They're still developing news with all of this shit that's going on. It seems to be progressing, but it also seems to be uh, just ineffective in some cases. There's just so much conflicting information. I don't think anyone knows anything. Trust your medical professionals. Don't trust whatever the fucking TV is telling you all the time. And don't trust what your fucking friend Bob has to say. Bob doesn't know shit. Fuck Bob. Bob doesn't know a goddamn thing. Ask Bob for his medical degree. Then he can give you some advice on how cautious you should be. Other than that, just do what the fuck is supposed to be done, people. Do what the fuck is supposed to be done. Even if you're not a high risk person, just fucking do it anyway. I'm putting myself at risk every day because I still got to go to work with my dumb ass. My dumb ass still got to go to work. I still got to go outside. I still have to leave my house to go outside to breathe this toxic air and to be around potentially toxic people that could potentially kill me if they breathe my air. Well, not if they breathe my air, but if they cough in the vicinity that I just was in and I didn't know that they coughed right there and I just walked past it and, take a whiff, take a big strong whiff of that cough and next thing you know, I'm dead. All because they want me to sit in this desk for 8 hours. What the fuck? What the fuck is up with that? If I was strictly quarantined in my house, my life wouldn't change much. I'd still be cranking out podcasts, drawing my ass off, writing my ass off. It would be a dream scenario. Let me fucking work from home. Let me do it. I don't need to be sitting there. Like I sit there and I sit at the fuck desk all day. Like I just sit there. Why can't I just sit at my home all day? Give me a fucking computer. I could do the same shit at home. Why do I have to be at risk? Why do I have to go outside and potentially contract the deadly virus? All for the dollar bill, folks. Anyway, on with the story. So today isn't an episode of The Freaky, but I am still sipping like a mofo. My voice cracked there a little bit. I am still sipping like a mofo today. I am sipping on Chardonnay. I don't give a fuck what you say. Get the fuck about my way. Because I can rap too, bitch. Yeah, I'm sipping on a fine Chardonnay. Chilled overnight. So if you hear me pause, and it's not my normal pause where I'm doing all those weird sounds or clearing my throat, if you hear a pause such as this, that means I'm sipping. Because motherfucker bitch, it's Friday. And I don't give a shit what you say. So, I was discussing with my lovely lady today the possibility of us getting a birthday cake. Is it anyone's birthday? No. Her birthday's in February. Mine is in April. But with a diet that I am on, where it's a semi-carnivore diet. I eat mostly meat. Um, Sometimes I'll get a salad, sometimes, but it's mostly meat. No bread, no carbs, no sugar. Uh, so I just wanted a fucking birthday cake, man. Like, I've been having a taste for the cake and the icing and what do you call it? Icing or frosting? What is it? Frosting? Whatever the fuck. I've been having a taste for a birthday cake for at least 5, 6 months. I just want a fucking birthday cake. I don't give a fuck if it's a slice or whatever. And it's not even anyone's birthday. I just want a fucking cake. I just want a fucking cake. So I tell my lovely lady, I say, hey, we should just go get a shared birthday cake, next month. Just go get a birthday cake. We can share it. And that led me to wonder, when was the last time I had a birthday cake? You know? Because a lot of people make a big deal out of their birthday celebrations. You got to have friends over, family over. You want special gifts. You want a birthday blowjob. You want some birthday cunnilingus. You just want to celebrate your birthday, right? Me, I haven't had many birthday celebrations. My birthday over the years has just become another day. And it seems that that's the case when you reach adulthood. Your birthday is just another day where you're reminded that you're creeping closer towards your expiration date. So I try not to think about that. But I do love a decent get together. Just a decent get together. It doesn't have to be for your birthday, but, just get together and eat some fucking cake. Eat some fucking cake together. Sing a dumbass song. Get married. Get drunk. Do all that shit. So, the discussion about the cake led me to think, when was the fucking last time I actually had a birthday cake where the cake was actually used to celebrate my birthday? Now, there's 2 occasions that I remember. I think only one of them involved the cake and the other was just a fucking disaster. And the disaster is what I'm going to be telling you about. The last time I actually had a birthday cake, and it was for my birthday, I believe I was just turning 9. And I was upset because my cousins spoiled my surprise, my birthday gift. I was getting a bike. At 9 years old, I didn't know how to ride a bike. I always wanted a bike. And I finally got one, and my cousins fucking spoiled that shit for me, so I was upset. So I was eating my birthday cake all grumpy and shit. But the next time I got a birthday celebration where there wasn't any cake was for my 16th birthday. Now let me build this up for you. 16, I am a teenager filled with angst and hormones. Still trying to figure out how the fuck the world works. Still trying to figure out how the fuck my dick works. Still trying to figure out what the fuck my friend circle gonna look like. Still just filling out everything. But I was pretty comfortable. I am about 25% of that person now. Still carrying that person along with me for the ride. But let me tell you about that person. Just a little bit. Okay? Just a little bit. So 16-year-old me. I am a high school, what was I? A sophomore going into my junior year, I believe. And I was an athlete. So I was in good shape. I was on a wrestling team, track team, football team. Could have been on the basketball team, but the basketball team was a bunch of pretty boys. I didn't like them. They weren't rough enough for me. But I was also a fucking loser nerd. I was in the finance academy, debate team. I took all sorts of business classes, accounting classes. We used to take field trips to the Federal Reserve Bank. Yeah, imagine that. That sounds fucking fun, doesn't it? Field trip to the Federal Reserve Bank to see old money. Like, what the fuck was I doing? And I was in a selective classes where we were in advanced placement. So picture me as half jock, half nerd. I was also a very, very big anime fan, wrestling fan. So you get the gist, right? Now for my 16th birthday, my aunt asked if I wanted a party. I completely shut down the idea immediately. I don't want no fucking party. I don't want all that attention. It's really not that important, you know. But I think she had the idea that I wasn't making enough friends just simply because she didn't see my friends or know my friends. I was always with them. I had friends. And I still have them today. They're the same friends. They are the same. So she just didn't see them. She knew one of them, but she just thought I had one friend. So she was very adamant about me having this get together. I don't know why. Maybe she needed to do some shit too. She just wanted to have an excuse to organize an event. I don't know. Fuck if I know. But I shot that shit down immediately. But the next day at school, I asked my friends, I asked them if they would be interested in the idea. I say, what if I was to have a birthday party? Would you guys show up? And they all said, yeah, why the fuck not? I'd show up. Everyone said they'd show up. Even my female friends said they would show up. And now that I mention my female friends, let me give you a backstory on one in particular, right? There was this girl named DeAndrea. Her nickname was Dee Dee, and from here on out, I will be calling her Dee Dee. So Dee Dee was one of the very first real life crushes I had. I didn't have very many of them, not many at all. Before her, I don't think there was any, honestly. I really don't. No, she was the first. Dee Dee was the first real life crush I had. And by real life, I mean a person that you actually interact with. Someone that you see on a day-to-day basis. So Dee Dee was fucking 6 foot tall. Around, she was like a fair complexion. I guess people would say she was a red bone. But she wasn't the typical stuck up, bend to my will red bone. She was down to earth, silly, very silly, goofy girl. And I had the hugest crush on this person. I would walk her home every day because she lived down the street from me. We would just walk home and fucking talk and laugh. Another one of my friends, Justin, he used to come along with us as well. After he found out that I was walking Dee Dee home, he would just follow me. So Justin, me, and Dee Dee used to just walk home together. It was very weird. It was very weird to have Justin there after a while. Because he was a socially awkward guy, but, it didn't deter me. And I never really told Dee Dee that I did have the biggest crush on her. Never told her. She would always be dating other people. Like she dated this one guy named Chris. And Chris got wind of me and Dee Dee doing in-school flirting. Even though I had a crush on her, I felt like she liked me too, but we never acted on anything. So we would just be in each other's faces and talking and laughing and shit. And this guy Chris got wind of my flirtations with her, and I had to put him on his head in a staircase leading up to the gymnasium. He thought he could wrestle with me, so I had to put him on this dome. And she ended up dating another guy named Cord, who I think was like a 7th year senior. Cord was a good guy though. He had a dynamite smile and a good personality. He was a good guy. So I really couldn't be mad at him for dating somebody that I liked. But that was in between. That was in between Chris, right? So she had broken up with Chris. I think because she heard about the incident of me dropping him on his head in the staircase of the gymnasium. I was like, oh, that's embarrassing, you know. So that's Dee Dee, and I never told her that I had a crush on her. But people would ask me, mutual friends, acquaintances, teammates, they would inquire, what was our status? You know, are you dating? Is that your girl? You know, are we fucking? Of course not. I still don't know how my dick works entirely. But they would just assume this because we were around each other so much. They would assume that me and Dee Dee was dating or, what do you call it? Talking at the time. But we weren't. But I would never deny it. They would assume it and I wouldn't deny it. I wouldn't just be like, no, that's not my girl. They would be like, hey, don't fuck with Dee Dee. That's dirty girl. You know. And I just let them say it. I don't know. A part of me was like, oh, that feels nice, you know, to have a girlfriend. Because during my entire high school career, I guess, I never had a girlfriend. So for someone to be like, don't fuck with Dee Dee, that's dirty girl, I would be like, you know, that feels nice. Maybe I shouldn't tell them that she's not my girl, so we were just friends. So I guess it kind of spread. That word kind of spread. And, you know, I started to behave like she was my girlfriend. So when people would ask me, I don't know people, but not everyone. Like if a specific person would ask me if I'm dating anybody, I'd say yes. Yeah, I am. Because I tricked myself into believing that what they were saying was true. And even though, I don't know, looking back, it was kind of like we were loosely dating, but we weren't. We never went out to get no fucking sandwich together. You know? We never fucking held hands. Well, we did. We held hands. But it was like a friendly thing. Like we never hugged or like a sensual thing. It was mostly like high school bullshit. And we were definitely just friends. So now I just told you about Dee Dee. Okay? And after I inquired all of my friends if they would be interested in going to a potential birthday party, they said yes, and that kind of swayed my opinion on my aunt's suggestion. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do this thing. I'm going to have a birthday party. So, of course, I only invited all of my friends who I am trapped with in advanced placement. All of my fellow nerdos, and I had a few friends that were on sports teams too. It was a very diverse group. It was a very diverse group of folks. So I invited all of them to come to the birthday party, you know, just to see who would show up. Excuse me for a second here. Let me take a little sip. So, the day of the party. Now, my aunt has it in her head. Might be my fault. Might not be my fault. Probably my fault. But my aunt has it in her head that my girlfriend is showing up. Dee Dee. Now, as I told you previously, Dee Dee technically isn't my girlfriend. We haven't, as the kids would say, claimed one another. Oh, Jesus, just thinking about this, I'm getting the fucking creeps. Well, not creeps. I'm getting fucking like my body is starting to fucking feel the shame. But so she had the idea that Dee Dee is my girlfriend, right? So every time we inch closer to the party, she asks me, "Is your girlfriend showing up? Is your girlfriend showing up?" Oh, and quick side note here, Dee Dee's aunt went to school, the very same school with my aunt, so they knew each other. Maybe they were talking in the background, talking about us. Like, hey, we should hook this shit up. But I would every time she asked, I didn't correct her. I didn't say that's not my girlfriend, but she's definitely showing up. She's like one of my best friends at the time. But I wouldn't correct her. I would just say yes. So not only is she assuming that she's my girlfriend, she's assuming that this person is showing up. And my girlfriend is showing up. So as the party inches closer. Now my house, you can't fucking miss it. I lived right on two fucking popular streets, right on Madison and Cicero. If you're from the Chicago area, especially the west side, you know where Madison and Cicero at. Everybody does. I live right off Madison and Cicero, above a church, across the street from the Moo and Oink. I live right across the street from the Moo and Oink, above a church. That's how a lot of people knew me, that I lived above the church. And maybe we shouldn't have been having whatever. So the day of the party, I am fucking climbing the walls with anxiety and panic. Everything that I thought I wanted, I didn't. I didn't want anyone celebrating my birthday. I didn't want to be surrounded and stared at. I did not want Dee Dee there. I didn't want any of the girls that I invited to be there. I just wanted it to be a normal day. If anything, I just wanted my real close male friends to show up, right? So I'm fucking panicking. And I'm like, you know what? I'm thinking in the back of my head, teenagers are teenagers, right? Teenagers are fucking fickle. They have a fucking spider web's net grasping on to their interests. Like, their interests vary. So who's to say that a motherfucker is going to really come to my party? Who's to say? It's on a fucking Saturday. They could just blow this shit off. And that's what I was hoping. Just blow this shit off. Go find something more important to do. Go have more fun. That was where my mind was heading. And also, I didn't want anyone to show up because it was a party organized by my aunt. I didn't pick the music. I didn't know what the fuck music to pick anyway. I didn't know what was popular. I didn't know what the fuck people listened to. So I didn't pick the music. I didn't pick the entrees or the appetizers. I didn't pick nothing. There was no fucking bottle that we could sneak away and drink. Sneak some vodka from the bar or some shit. There was none of that. There was none of that. As far as teenage parties go, right? All that shit you see on movies like Van Wilder and American Pie and all that shit. This was not that. This was going to be the precise opposite of that. This is going to be above a church where they're serving you Kool-Aid and Doritos while we're watching fucking wrestling on VHS tapes in the background. This is a real thing that happened. So I'm panicking. And I'm hoping that none of my friends show up. None of the female friends show up. And Dee Dee don't show up. And my little sisters, they lived there too. And they were virtually kids. Still in grade school. And I was hoping they also didn't get in the way and mess with my big boy friends. And I slowly started to realize that, none of my hopes would come to fruition because my little sisters were invited to, come out until my friends started to arrive. My aunt insisted on moderating or being the fucking supervisor of the party. So she's in the front room just looming. She refused to go away, and I knew this would be the case. And she also invited her friends, her grown-up friends. And she also invited friends of the family, her grown-up friends' children. Like, it was family friends. Like, our families kind of grew up together. So she invited them. So her friends are there, my little sisters are there. Everyone's just kind of looming in the living room, waiting for my friends to show up. Fuck. First person to show up was one of my good friends, James. JB shows up. I'm like, fuck. He showed up early. He showed up like an hour early, and we started watching wrestling. And I'm thinking, yes, this is what this party is going to be. We're just going to sit here, snack a little bit, sing happy birthday, go to fuck home, right? While we're watching fucking wrestling VHSs. Then my other friend shows up, and it's also a guy. I think it was Tom. I forget. It was either Tom or Marcus. So 2 more guys show up basically. And I got chairs out in front of the TV. I'm showing them a pay-per-view that they never saw with Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. And it was also the one where Vince McMahon had a match with Stephanie, his daughter. And I vividly remember us watching this together. Oh, and it was also the match where A-Train dropped Chris Benoit on his fucking head. It was great. It was fucking great. It was great up until the girls started showing up. And the girls showed up like all together. And it was very awkward. And immediately I was afraid. Like, I was petrified that someone would bring up the fact that me and Dee Dee was supposed to be a couple, right? I did not want anyone to mention this. And I was also afraid that this fucking party is going to be a disaster. It already is. This is not supposed to be a party. So after the girls show up, the boys instantly get all, yeah, they get all fucking stiff and awkward. We don't know what to do. We're just having a good time watching 2 grown men fake fight, having a good ass time doing that. But the moment the girls show up, fucking, we turn into fucking bowls of Jello, just harmless, brainless things. We don't know what to do with you. Like, oh my God, you're pretty. Let me stand over here. You speak English? Am I making any sense to you? I'm just gonna go away now. So teenage boys, especially my friends, we did that. But we knew them too, so we were comfortable talking. So we were just talking. Like, everyone was just talking. No one wanted to fucking dance. No one wanted to make this a rave. But for some reason, my aunt handed me the keys of the party. I never wanted the keys to the party. I didn't want it. So she's asking, like, why don't you turn on some music? Why don't you and your friends have fun? You don't know my friends. This is fun. This is what we're doing now. Standing around talking about nothing. This is fun. Leave us alone. Just go away. But she wasn't satisfied. She was just looming. He should have left the party unsupervised. Would have been the perfect idea. But not according to my aunt. So we had to turn on some music awkwardly. No one's really dancing. Someone's kind of moving, kind of. Dee Dee's being silly, so she's kind of half dancing and not serious about it. And this is when shit gets fucking embarrassing. Now, while Dee Dee is dancing, I'm just looking and have the dumbest look on my face. Just the dumbest look. As I'm just staring at her dance. Because I'm not going to dance as well. My family knows I don't dance. Shit. Everybody's meant for something. Everybody got a talent for some shit. I could move. Don't get me wrong. I got rhythm. But as far as coordinating dance moves and not fucking looking like a jackass in the process while I'm dancing with another person, especially as a teenager, that was not my talent. It was not my talent in life. But my aunt took it upon herself to ask or demand, hey, why don't you dance with your girlfriend? Shit. Fucking shit. Fucking shit. We're already in this very small living room area. There's not enough space for words to get misconstrued or lost in translation. So we're huddled into this small living room area where there's a table on one side, there's a TV and a dresser on the other side, and everyone's kinda in the middle. My aunt's away in the corner by the table. So everyone heard what she said pretty much. And the moment that the d came out of her mouth, the girlfriend, why don't you dance with your girlfriend? I could feel my heart kind of sink all the way to my ball sack, and then it just evacuated my ball sack and fell to my feet. Like my heart just felt so low. It felt like I swear to God, it felt like it wasn't even in my chest. It fucking fell. It fucking cracked and just fell to the ground. And I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. All I remember is a very brief and blurry vision of Dee Dee giggling, and I ran to my room and closed the door. I had to get out of there. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what the fuck to do. Mind you, like I said, we weren't dating. Unless Dee Dee went around telling people we were dating, which I don't think she did. And I think she was kind of like shaking her head no as I ran away. She was like, mm-mm. Like she had a smirk on her face, like a playful grin or a giggle. But she was also like shaking her head no. And I ran in my room. And I would not leave there. I would not leave. I wanted everyone else to leave before I did. It was one of the most embarrassing experiences of my life. Is it my fault? Maybe. Oh, there's my co-host. Was it my fault, co-host? Yes. What do you mean, yes? Oh, go fuck yourself. It wasn't my fault entirely. Okay, maybe I should have. Fuck you, bitch. Maybe I should have stopped the momentum of this train wreck. No pun intended. Should have stopped the momentum by just cutting people off with that assumption and just saying straight up that me and Dee Dee were friends. But the feeling of everyone acknowledging that, oh, I had a girlfriend, it just felt good. And I didn't want that feeling to go away, you know? Especially, I really liked her. Like, she was smart, silly, cute girl. Like, you know, it would be an honor, me lady, to be your fake boyfriend. So I didn't want it. So I could have stopped it. I could have fucking stopped it, but I did. So I guess it's my fault as well. Um, so it was embarrassing. Like it was so fucking embarrassing. I didn't want to leave that room. Didn't. People was knocking. I was not answering. I was I was sitting on the floor up against the bed with my head in my arms, you know, looking like a homeless person with a sign on the sidewalk. And I don't know how much time passed, maybe like 10, 15 minutes. And I guess this story had a good ending because I mean I didn't feel that good about it at the time, but looking back, I guess it did have kind of a good ending because the one person that got me out of the room was the very person that I was embarrassed over. Dee Dee. She came, she closed the door behind her, she sat down on the floor with me and was like, you know, what's wrong? You know, I'm your friend, we're really cool. You know, can you come out the room and just enjoy the rest of your party? You know, don't nobody care, don't nobody care. And I didn't appreciate it at the time, but it was a really nice gesture. It was really nice. And she got me to get up off the floor and we hugged and we left the room. And I just went back to the party, you know, and tried to enjoy my friends and forget about that embarrassing ordeal. And that's the story. That is the story about how I want some birthday cake next month. That is, I'm not gonna be inviting anybody to my house. That's for fucking sure. That's for sure. I'm eating the whole motherfucking thing. Well, half. My lady can have the other half. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good weekend. I hope your work week or your quarantine week didn't draw you to go stir crazy. You know, we're gonna make it through this together. Together we will. And if not, then fuck it. We'll all be zombies. I don't have a goal for the weekend. I don't have a dummy of the week. I don't have a double standard of the week. I'm slacking. But you can suck my dick. Because it's a fucking virus going around right now. So you can suck a coronavirus dick. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I love you anyway. You know I love you. I just talk shit. I still love you. You know, we're going to make some love together. All right. Bye.